Well, folks, since I had a minute and the sun was in my favor, thought I'd just take a little cruise down through the Stuart neighborhood here. There's the Stuart Avenue Inn. Oh yes. The accommodations here on Stuart. Go over here by K College. Take a little look at a brick road. I'll be right back. All right, this is West Main entrance to K College. Original brick streets. Going to be building new dormitories here. Into the tens of millions of dollars, it was announced. Something was going to be replaced on, I don't know exactly what building. There's the chapel straight ahead. Uh-huh. Yeah, you can take the street straight down and it dead ends where it used to cross over the Arcadia that's now collapsing right by the railroad tracks. Okay? Or we can go the way we're going to be going. We're going to pass Stetson Hall here. Well, there's Dewing Hall. I don't know if too many good old boys that wear Stetsons would want to go to school here. There are certain outlooks. It's all up to them. I'm glad it's a private college. An expensive private college. I don't know what this edifice is right here. There's green space all around it. They just let that go. And it helps wildlife and so forth. I don't know exactly what. Here we go. It's the Arcus Center for Social Justice and Leadership. Oh my God. So that's where they're going to be coming from, y'all. Being taught by some of these people right up in here. This is Professor's Row. Be right back. Some great architecture back here. A lot of money in K College. My father went to K for almost a year until World War II started, and he went down and joined the Marine Corps. He wanted to be a civil engineer, and instead he went into aviation. He applied his trade It's just the opposite of building, you might say. Nice old home right here in the neighborhood. I don't have anything against the kids or the instructors at K College. They want to teach that stuff, let them teach it. Makes things interesting for the rest of us. We also, since they're hanging it all out in the wind, we know exactly who is who. They may come in handy one day. I live too far out in the sticks to worry about that, though. Okay, I noticed something quite substantial is going on here at Western. Looks like they're tearing up the streets. I don't quite know. Putting in a new street back there, going down in front of the facilities. Here's some of the cement blocks from the Bernhardt Center when it was tore down last year, and some of the students collected those blocks and painted them and made a little garden there. I'll go over here and take a look from another direction. See, these are what the dorms looked like when I was a kid. If I'd gone to college here, this would have been the dorms. They're tearing these down little by little, and I'll show you what they're replacing them with. Well, 2 years ago, this was the Bernhardt Center, right here in this grassy area. It was raised, along with all of its associated buildings. Looks like they're just doing road work. The administration building straight ahead, it's an old building, probably slated to be raised. Haven't heard anything about that. You can see the new student center, there with the big white fence around the top. Yep, I think that was $70 million for that facility right there when they built it. It took the place of the Bernhardt Center that was tore down right here. All right. Right over here is what the new dormitories look like. Give a little angle here of the dangle. This is what they're being replaced with. All right, I'll be right back. A little look at the new dorms, we call them. Sangren Hall sets right over here to the right of those. New Sangren Hall. They raised old Sangren and rebuilt it. It's quite a place. I took reading lessons in there in the late 1960s from Dr. Ted Kilty, who later became the superintendent of Kalamazoo Public Schools. So I guess I learned how to read real good from one of the best. I was reading okay, but my parents wanted me to read real good. What better of a person to teach you than a PhD at Western? I learned how to enunciate and to use the King's proper English sometimes, y'all. Here's one of the 3 valleys that was raised last year, and this is the brand new accommodations that they're building in here right now. I'm just going to go up in here and do a 3-pointer and haul butt. Well, the valleys out here all by themselves, and quite a walk on the main campus where the dining facility was there at the Student Union and the Bernhardt Center, now of course the Student Center. They needed to open another dining facility, and so they put several $1 million together and built Valley Dining, and this is the center. This is a super cool place. Valley Dining Center. Alrighty then. Take a look at one of the valleys. This is Valley 1. Valley 3 is the one that they tore down, they're rebuilding. This is Britton Hall. We used to party over in Valley 2, next door to this. Had a video on that earlier. This is Hadley Hall. Man, we used to party up there. You can see there's a lot of mouths to feed. 3 valleys like this. A lot of Broncos, man. A lot of oats. Right back. Lot 54, where are you? Well, it's right here, the famous Lot 54. This is one large parking lot. It's a dead-end parking lot up here at the top of the hill. From Valley 1, here's an old Foose gate. It's unlocked. This is locked. Huh. What's this up ahead here? Past the road end sign. Do not enter. Authorized vehiculi. Let's go. No. Not today. I have a clean driving record. My trespassing record? Yeah. The judge pointed his finger at a person and said, trespass not, lest ye be trespassed. And then he hit his gavel, and because they were members of the same golf club there, he gave him a $25 fine and let him go. Next case, similar, got a $700 fine and lost hunting privileges and fishing privileges for 2 years. I was behind that person. Went up in front of the judge, told the judge what happened, and the judge sided with me. I'll be right back. Yes, sir, the judge was very fair. He had to give me a small fine because technically it was a moving violation, even though I was parked half a mile out on our own farm against the tree line, private property. But I had my engine of the my pickup truck running. I was warming up. It was very cold out, deer hunting. It was about noon. I was beginning to eat my lunch, and a conservation officer riding with a state trooper as a co-pilot pulled way out in our field and came around and checked my license and everything, and so forth, and I had my firearm in the vehicle with me, sitting there on the seat, my handgun, and I was handgun hunting, and had my permit, my hunting permit and everything, but I didn't have a concealed permit. And to have a loaded, uncased weapon, handgun, laying there in the vehicle is against the law if you're driving. And in the state of Michigan, like the drunk driving laws and so forth, if your keys are in the ignition, or if your ignition is on, even though you're parked, even though if you were blocked in with all kinds of other traffic, you couldn't go anywhere, well, it's a moving violation. And so if I had not been warming the truck up and so forth, if my keys were in my pocket, they would have bid me a happy hunting day and taken off. No harm done. Have a great day. But yep, moving violation. If I had a concealed permit, no problem. Not a problem. I went 2 days later, that was a weekend, and got my paperwork started for the concealed permit. And I had one for many years. Yep. But that's how you learn, even though you're on your own land, way out on it. And you're legal. If your keys are in, you're not drunk or anything else. If your keys are in that ignition, you better have a concealed permit. Yep. Well, all that goes before the gun board. And the Kalamazoo gun board had so many cases before it that they finally just dissolved it. It was doing nothing. It was just raising people's hair and getting people mad, and righteous gun owners and so forth, and hunters and collectors and sportsmen ending up in there for the stupidest stuff, and then getting fines and losing their privileges for something that one little piece of paper will tell you, go ahead and do it, you're fine. Of course, you have to have that little piece of paper, and I go by that. It's like your driver's license if you're a gun owner. These days, if you are a gun owner, in Michigan there are millions, I think. If you don't have a permit, I don't know a person that owns a handgun that doesn't have a carry permit. I don't know one, man or woman. I don't know one. But anyways, those are the old days. I hung my holster up years ago. It was around the end of 2014. Yep, I hung my holster up. Boy, I still love to play softball and baseball, though. I go out and swing my bat now and then, keep in shape. There you go. Little story here. Around the valleys. Right over here next to this valley, they raised the parking structure. I can't believe it. I remember when they built it. It was a huge parking structure. And I just know now, I just seen as I drove up here, it's now a gravel lot. Well, look at, well, there you have it. Huh. I wonder what they're going to do with this space now. The entry is over here on the other side of this Christian Ministries building. Yeah, this was 4 stories tall, big parking structure. All gone. Yeah, there is a natural entrance to it right there. Gone. We'll take a little cruise here around Ring Road. This is South Ring Road. Past Reed Field House right here, where I went to see Kiss. Seen Kiss in there after they had played up in Cadillac, Michigan, of all places. They came down here, and I think they went to Chicago or Detroit out of here. Yep. They never had a concert in there again. Nope. At least not one like that. A lot of old dorms of the old style that I showed you earlier were here. They were raised years ago, turned into a big green common with the new student center anchoring it there, top of the hill. And then we go by Arcadia Flats, which are, the Arcadia Creek is right over here behind us. Here are the new dorms, Arcadia Flats. And you come around the corner over here on Ring Road, and you're looking back up into main campus, and of course Miller Auditorium straight ahead right there. This used to be a golf course right up here. We used to come up here sledding and tobogganing when I was a kid. And they tore out the golf course and they built Miller Auditorium. Well, alrighty then. You can see part of their solar farm right here. And this appears to be all roofing material for flat roofs. They must be doing some roofing here yet this year. Some roofs are rough. Okay, now we're around some of the more higher end accommodations. here at Western. Okay. This was all businesses right here back in the day. They're gone. Of course, here on the corner was the campus movie theater and Bilbo's Pizza. All gone, all razed. Little strip malls built there. Who knows how many things have come and gone from there. Other strip malls built behind it. High-end apartments beyond that over the last 20 years. Of course, we're right here at the Western entrance to Western Michigan University. Yep, been some shootings and I think, yeah, killing right over here in the parking lot. Middle of the night, a couple of months ago, the last summer, and a couple of summers before that. A lot of issues there in that parking lot, and the police finally seemed to have got a hand on that. There were arrests made and the whole thing. I see for sale signs over here on this corner, on the left-hand corner there. I have to take a look as we drive by. There's a dispensary or a smoke shop there or something. That's the one on the end. Here's the Herbana right there. That is a hemp distributor along here in the high-end apartments. And all along here are going to be frat houses and sororities, fraternities, all up and down these streets right here. Here's one for sale. An animal house. It's for sale. Isn't that something? Here's another one. Yeah, these are just the ones that are facing the street. There's probably 25 or 30 down those side streets. That's where they get burning the vehicles and they get burning the couches and the trash barrels and so forth. Certain times of the year, they cut loose back in there. This used to be a nursing home. It's closed. Right here. And we just move right on down the Strasse, one of the first pondos in Kalamazoo that was built specifically to be a ponderosa. It wasn't an old Bonanza that got taken over by a pondo, but it's right up here. Over here on the left, behind all the security gates and so forth, that's the abortion clinic. Let's see. The pondo should be coming up. Oh, yes. Right here. Right there she is. And almost next door is a big dispensary and the Oasis Hot Tub Gardens. Go in there and rent you a hot tub by the hour. Yeah. Well, whatever. And there is the speedway that they are raising and taking that whole property behind it where the laundromat used to be, and making a super speedway. Should have put a Buc-ee's in there if you ask me. See you in the next one. Have a great rest of your day. What a ride, right? I got to get home. The sun's up.